On the news, Nigeria moves to generate more revenue from information communication technology. President Buhari turned back on 5-day working trip to Daura after summit in Malabo. And U.S. deports over 200 foreign students over violation of immigration law. Many thanks for joining us on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari says the government will continue to create an enabling environment for the growth and investment in the information communication technology sector as a major contributor to the growth of the economy. The president said this at the opening of the 2019 e-Nigeria Summit with the theme National Digital Economy. He noted that the ICT sector has shown the potentials of creating jobs for the youth and bringing up emerging entrepreneurs in the country. Also at the summit was Minister of Communication Isa Pantami, who says different innovations and development policies have been put in place to grow the sector and the Nigerian economy.
The second quarter report by the National Bureau of Statistics in 2019 showed that the information and communications technology sector contributed an impressive 13.85% to the GDP of Nigeria. This clearly shows the importance and potential of the ICT sector to our job creation and economic diversification agenda. We shall continue to encourage and support such digital entrepreneurs to develop innovative solutions for local and global challenges.
The policy we are working on is to make sure that we leverage on digital technology to create many jobs for our teeming youths. And this is what we have started, and it has also started yielding result. Within the time frame, with the support and the guidance of Mr. President, we were able to support our security institutions by providing some emergency communication centers. On 23rd September 2019, we commissioned the first emergency communication center that will be able to receive calls from people in distress and emergency situations, and they will be linked up immediately with relevant agencies that are to provide intervention or to rescue them from any situation they find themselves.
Frameworks have been developed for capacity building in core IT areas, while some schools and local government areas have also benefited. The implementation of various e-Nigeria conference recommendations, Your Excellency, have also contributed significantly in terms of ICT contributions to the GDP.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has asked the National Assembly to review and approve the 2016 to 2018 external borrowing plan. He made the request in letters forwarded to the legislature and read on the floors of both chambers of the National Assembly on Thursday. In the letters, the president explained that the request was for specific outstanding projects under the 2016 to 2018 borrowing plan, which was not approved by the 8th Assembly. The president also transmitted the Companies and Allied Matters Bill 2019 to the National Assembly for consideration and passage.
The Senate is invited to note that A, while I had transmitted the 2016 to 2018 external borrowing plan to the 8th National Assembly in September 2016, this plan was not approved in its entirety by the legislature. Only the federal government's emergency projects for the Northeast, 4 states projects, and 1 China Exim Bank assisted railway modernization project for Lagos-Ibadan segment were approved out of a total of 39 projects. And B, the outstanding projects in the plan that were not approved by the legislature are nevertheless critical to the delivery of the government policies and programs relating to power, mining, roads, agriculture, health, water, and educational sectors. These outstanding projects are well advanced in terms of their preparation, consistent with the 2016 debt sustainability analysis undertaken by the Debt Management Office and were approved by the Federal Executive Council in August 2016 under the 2016 to 2018 External Borrowing Plan. Accordingly, I have attached for your kind consideration relevant information from the Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, the specific outstanding projects under the 2016 to 2018 External Borrowing Plan for which legislative approval is currently sought. I have also directed the Minister to make herself available to provide any additional information or clarification which you may require to facilitate prompt approval of the outstanding projects under this plan.
President Muhammadu Buhari will depart Abuja for Equatorial Guinea to participate in the 5th Gas Exporting Countries Forum in Malabo. In a statement, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, announced that the President would embark on a 5-day official visit to Daura in Katsina State after the summit. He noted that leaders of major gas-producing nations across the world, including Algeria, Egypt, Equatorial Guinea, Libya, Iran, Qatar, and Russia, just to mention a few, will also be at the one-day summit in Malabo. Shehu said the Nigerian delegation would use the opportunity to discuss current trends in the global gas market, potential policies for the energy sector, and opportunities for collaboration. He also added that the Malabo Declaration is expected to be adopted at the end of the summit. Now, it's good news in Enugu State as the police command has announced the release of abducted Catholic priest Reverend Father Malachi Soju, serving under Catholic Diocese of Nsukka. The priest was earlier kidnapped on Monday along Imilike-Nsukka Road while he was returning from a meeting. Ebere Amarezu, the spokesman of the State Police Command, confirmed that the priest was released on Wednesday evening. The police spokesman, however, did not give further details on the release, so it's still unclear whether ransom was paid for his freedom or not. His abduction is the latest in a series of attacks targeted at clergymen in Enugu. Well, 9 officials of Kirikiri Maximum Prison in Lagos have been suspended indefinitely over a $1 million scam coordinated by Olusegun Aroke, an inmate. In a statement, Francis Enobore, spokesman of the Nigeria Correctional Service, NCS, says the suspension of the prison officials is based on the preliminary report of an investigation panel earlier constituted by Jafaru Ahmed, the Controller General of the service. He said findings from the investigation indicted the 9 officials, including Emmanuel Oluwaniyi and Emerson Edwin, 2 deputy controllers initially indicted by the EFCC. The spokesman said such officials should not be allowed to corrupt the system of the correctional service, adding, quote, that the task of correcting maladjusted persons in the society requires a measure of moral rectitude to make a positive impact on offenders in custody, end of quote. Lawmakers at the Nigerian Senate has called on the 21 border states to dedicate 1.5% of Consolidated Revenue Fund and 30% of Ecological Fund for the development of border communities in the country. The upper chamber also urged the federal government to increase the funding of the Border Community Development Agency, that's the BCDA, while mandating its Committee on States and Local Governments to carry out a holistic investigation on the level of compliance with the Act establishing the BCDA. The resolutions were reached after the consideration of a motion on the need to pay attention to the plight of border communities in Nigeria, which was sponsored by Senator Sadiq Umar of Kwara North.
The border communities are in dire need of development in the area of infrastructure, healthcare, education, water, and access roads. But the BCDA has not been able to cater for the needs of these communities because of insufficient funding, among other things.
I think there is a need for the federal government to come up with an intervention fund. That will go a long way to solving the problems of these border communities. There is no way the local governments and the state governments here mentioned can afford the type of reductions they are talking about here. The border communities are very important because at the end of the day, if you don't take care of them, they will aid and abet illegality, illegal movement of migrants from various neighboring countries.
Mandate the 21 border states to dedicate 1.5% of consolidated revenue fund and 30% of ecological fund to the development of border communities. Those in favor of prayer 2 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 3, mandate the Committee on States and Local Government to carry out a holistic investigation on the level of compliance with the Act establishing the BCDA. Those in favor of prayer 3 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has upheld the election of Samuel Ortom as governor of Benue State. Delivering the verdict on Thursday, the court dismissed the appeal filed by the All Progressives Congress and its candidate Emmanuel Jime, challenging Ortom's victory, saying it lacked merit. In addition to that, the court also awarded 150,000 naira fine against the APC candidate. Reacting to the judgment, Ortom said the court's verdict not only validated the earlier judgment of the Governorship Election Tribunal, but that it also confirmed the choice of Benue voters in the 2019 polls. An ex-senator, Emmanuel Owe from Ebonyi State, and a former speaker of Bayelsa State House of Assembly, Friday Komboyin, and 4 others have been arraigned before the Code of Conduct Tribunal in Abuja on charges of breach of Code of Conduct for public office holders. While Onwe was arraigned for refusing to return his assets declaration form at the appropriate time, Komboyin and others were arraigned on a separate charge bordering on abuse of office. In a statement issued on Thursday, Ibrahim Al-Hassan, CCT spokesman, said the 6 defendants pleaded not guilty to the charges brought against them. When the case came up on Wednesday, the Riadambo Defense Counsel asked the tribunal to strike out the suit because the matter could not be resolved amicably between the defendants and Israel Sonny Goli, the petitioner. But Danladi Umar, the CCT chairman, overruled Dambo. Umar held that the matter was criminal in nature and that only the Attorney General of the Federation has the power to withdraw a case and not a petitioner. The matter has now been adjourned till December 17 for trial. Climate change is perhaps one of the most severe global challenges in the 21st century, and Africa is expected to bear the brunt of the devastating impacts. With rising global temperatures and sea levels, there are projections that low-lying coastal cities like Lagos may be submerged by 2050. For this reason, the Lagos state government is coming up with a health environment strategy to combat the looming danger.
When I said that health doesn't have a role in mitigation, I mean directly. But we have a very major role to play indirectly in terms of advocacy, both at state, national, and global level. And we have to put it down in very hard terms.
Today, from our own emission inventory, Lagos is having over 26 million tons of CO2 emission equivalent. CO2 equivalent from 3 sectors. We didn't look at 5 sectors. We look at 3 sectors: transportation, energy, and waste. And energy has 55% because all of us are on generator. When we did a pathway scenario of this, by 2050, if business as usual continue, we'll be eating 180 million tons. Thank God that we are partnering with health. We want to know the data that the general hospitals have. What are the record of the sickness brought? Because until we are able to put everything in figures, in numbers, our decision makers or decision whatever will not know the significance of the problem we are in.
News Now will be right back after this. Do stay with us.
It's about the files your secretary presented to me regarding the company's salary. Yes, the figures don't seem to add up. I suspect there's some form of a
discrepancy.
Precisely, sir.
Keep the figure that way.
That's fraudulent, sir.
That's my money.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't do that, sir.
See how padded your teeth are. Are you telling me you cannot pad up figures?
Sir, padding is against best auditing practices, and it's a form of corruption.
It's true. Accountant.
You were testing. Thank you, sir.
That's it. Bagole,
Yes, sir.
you are fired.
Yeah. Fine, sir. Rather than watch corruption grow under my watch. Pardon is a form of corruption and not in my country, sir.
Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
Wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
You're welcome back. Fidelia Aguncha is now standing by for business. Hello, Fidelia.
Hi, Annette.
It seems we're yet to see the end of the border closure, and we have public office holders speaking up both against it and, of course, highlighting the benefits. Please bring us up to date on that.
Well, Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, has been highlighting the benefits of Nigeria's land border closure to the country's economy. The border closure has been linked to the recent rise in headline inflation, which is currently at 11.61%, which is a 17-month high. Briefing State House correspondent after the Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja, Ahmed noted that though the border closure has led to an increase in food inflation, it has also significantly contributed to the nation's economy.
Headline inflation declined every month for several months before we noticed an uptick in the last 2 months. And now headline inflation is at 11.61% as at the end of October. The slight increase in this inflation in October, between September and October is due to the increases in food inflation. The food inflation increases we are ascribing to increases in prices of cereals, including also prices of rice and fish. And part of the reason is the border closure. But the border closure is very, very short and temporary. And the increase, by the way, is just about 2 basis points. Remember that there was a time inflation was at 9%, and it grew to about 18% in January 2017 when we were into recession.
Meanwhile, the Federal Executive Council has approved the sum of 19.352 billion naira for the construction of road projects in the Federal Capital Territory, Oyo State and Kano State. Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, disclosed this to State House correspondent after the Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja. He also announced the Council has approved 523 million naira for the completion of Efelaye-Erimoy-Waraji Road linking Ekiti and Osun State, which had been awarded since 2009 and has reached 85% completion.
The second memorandum was for the award of 3 roads in Egwu, Oloko Agbonle Road in Oyo, and Gulu Town to Yaba Town in FCT, between FCT and Niger State, and Sharada to Madobi and Dambore in Kano. So, Council approved these roads for 7.249 billion for the first one in Oyo, 7.593 for the second one in Niger, and 4.510 for the third one in Kano.
Nigerian telecommunications operators have resolved to withdraw the USSD service they deliver to banks, saying they cannot provide such service for free while banks charge customers for it. Benga Adebayo, chairman of the Association of Licensed Telecommunications Operators of Nigeria, ALTON, said the decision became necessary because the Minister of Communications was yet to set up a working group to discuss a way forward after directing them to suspend such charges. The group further noted that despite the directive from the minister, banks have continued to charge as much as 55 naira per transaction using the same telecom operator's platform.
The USSD, we've spoken about that extensively, is a service we are providing for the banks, and there is a cost to providing those links. The bank has given an erroneous impression to the public that it is sunk cost. And it is not sunk cost, because for that cycle to be alive, the cell site must be powered. There must be diesel on site. There must be transmission link available. The systems, our system must shake hands with the interconnected systems of the bank. So it's a recurring cost that we have on it, other than the initial capital outlay required to provide those links. We have recurring costs on it. And sadly, till now, while we are not charging for the services, the banks continue to charge their subscribers for using the USSD link. If I'm wrong, let people in the house say now that when you do any transaction on the bank in the last 4 weeks, they have not been charging you. So we think it's morally wrong for the banks to receive money from their subscribers, take money from their account, for a link that we provide to them, and think that this link should be provided free of charge. So an EU go to equity must go with clean hands. So if they think we should not charge, they also should stop charging their subscribers.
We'll review activities in the stock market after this break. Don't go away. With a total of 19 gainers, 13 losers, and 12 unchanged equities, the bulls have taken back dominance at the Nigeria equities market, boosting key indices by 0.13% after falling by 245 basis points in the past 2 days. The all-share index swelled by 34 points to close at 26,847 basis points, and that's as buys outweighs sell-off, with over 303 million equities valued at more than 1.7 billion naira exchanged hands in 3,151 deals. Cadbury Nigeria PLC leads the pack of gainers, and that's despite the consumer goods index closing in the negative territory today. It was also a good day for GlaxoSmithKline, UACN, and First Bank of Nigeria Holdings, all coming up, ending the day with gains. It was, however, the opposite for some heavyweight equities. Leading the pack is Dangote Sugar and CNI Leasing, and it was also a bad day for Dangote Cement right here and Jai's Bank, and they led the pack of 13 losers today. Outside Nigeria, let's see how the stock markets over there performed, and we can see it's a downtrend for FTSE and Nikkei, while the Dow is closing with a 0.35% rise in value. Nikkei is falling as news of Trump approving a law that will back Hong Kong protesters seem to have affected investors' confidence on them. Equities listed on the stock exchange, the FTSE is falling by 0.24%. Well, that is from the world of business. It's back to Annette Felix.
Thanks for that update, Fidelia. And in the U.S., the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, have arrested over 200 foreign students who enrolled at a fake university in Farmington Hills. The university was set up by the U.S. Department of Homeland Homeland Security, with the intention of luring in students A total of about 250 students have now been arrested since January on immigration violations. The university marketed itself as offering graduate programs in technology and computer studies. It was reported that the ICE in March had arrested 161 students for immigration violations through the fake university, a number that has now grown to about 250. Many of those arrested from the university have been deported, while others are contesting their removal. Nigeria's Super Eagles have moved up by 4 points in the November FIFA ranking to place 31st on the table. In the ranking table released on the website of the World Football Governing Body, Nigeria amassed 1,493 points in November, as against the 1,481 points gotten in October. This was as a result of their 4-2 win over Lesotho and 2-1 win over the Republic of the Benin Republic in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifying matches. The upward movement helps the Super Eagles keep a hold of the third position in Africa, just behind Senegal and Tunisia, who have 1,555 and 1,506 points and are placed 20th and 27th on the ranking table, respectively. And that's it on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.